Welcome to the year 2022. This is the first podcast of the year. Welcome to the Whole Health with Rob Carney podcast. My name is Rob Carney. This is a platform to connect with and share the stories of personal development leaders, health entrepreneurs, and people who are making an impact in this world. So I'm glad that you are joining me here today. What I'm going to be sharing in this podcast is a little bit different. If you've been listening to some of my recent podcasts, you may notice that some of these are getting a little bit different, spicing it up for you. And to start this one off for the new year, this is actually an excerpt from the whole health community. So the last call we had of the year 2021, doing some reflecting, doing some envisioning for the new year of 2022. So prior to the beginning of this recording, we just did a little mini meditation. So you can feel the vibe is definitely a chill vibe coming into it. And for this episode, this is interactive for you. So I really want to encourage you to get your journal out, get a piece of paper, and do some reflecting and envisioning for the new year. So give you a second, pause the podcast, grab your phone if you write on your phone, but I prefer to get on a piece of paper. Grab your piece of paper, whether it's a notebook, whether it's your journal, whatever that is. But grab that right now, grab a pen, and we're going to dive into reflecting on the past year and going into the new year. So today, I want to break this up into 3 different sections here. So first piece is going to be reflect, second one, envision, third part, share. So taking the time to reflect on our year of 2021, I think that will be something that most of us don't do. I definitely don't reflect as much as I'd like to. So I want to give us an opportunity to reflect on the year that just happened, because if it was anything like mine, and there was a lot of great changes, a lot of growth that happened, a lot of challenges. So we'll reflect on that, look at some lessons we learned, look at some wins, then we'll go into envisioning the new year. And I think that that's something that my habit in the past has always been January 1st to start thinking about that type of stuff. So this year I've really taken the week before to think about those visions for the next year. And that's really helped me feel a lot more grounded moving into this new year. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to give us a moment to just run through the past year. So it's an invitation to close the eyes again, return to that breath. And I want to just have you play the mind map just about 1 year ago. Start in January and go all the way up to the present moment. Try to take a big takeaway from every month if you can, and just play back the story of your 2021. So we'll do this for about 60 seconds in silence. And just feel into any emotions that come up. You can either keep going down that roadmap or just start writing a couple things down that may come up. Maybe think about some lessons you learned this year. Write some of those down. There's a lot of lessons that we learned as a collective this 2021. So hitting on major moments, lessons learned, biggest wins. And what are some things that you're taking from 2021 into 2022? Maybe it's some habits you picked up, some mindset tricks. What can you take from this past year and bring it into the new year? What are you leaving in 2021? What did you experience in 2021 that you don't want to bring into 2022? Maybe those are some hard lessons. So I'll read these again, then we'll go for about 2 more minutes of just writing and reflecting. So, any major events from 2021, lessons learned, biggest wins, what are you taking into 2022, and what are you leaving in 2021? So, go into those for 2 minutes. And we'll go for about 1 more minute. All right, so we can always come back to these later time, which I definitely encourage you to. Like I was saying, I feel that we often don't spend the adequate, or at least I don't spend the adequate time reflecting on such a monumental year or just experiences in general. So, at any point later today or between now and end of day tomorrow, I want to invite you to take some time to dive into some of these questions, maybe some other ones, and just really dive into what we can take away from 2021. And now let's move into the Envision phase, setting the stage for the new year. So let's pause what we're doing, return to that breath. And just like we ran through in our minds the year 2021, now let's run through in our mind the ideal vision for 2022. What does that ideal life look like for 2022? And not what you think is realistic, not what you think is probable, ideal. Your dream 2022, what does that look like? And again, try to start in January, move to December, or just think of as themes as a whole, whatever feels right. but feel those emotions. How would it feel to live that dream life? What would it look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? Where are you? If you're having a resistance, push through. Notice what that resistance is. Maybe it's the need to feel like you're thinking realistic. Maybe it's unworthiness. Notice what's coming up. Breathe through it. Visualize that dream life. Feel free to stay here or jot down any things that came up. Now ask yourself, who do you want to be this year, 2022? What attributes do you want to embody? What character qualities? What virtues? So you can continue with who you want to be, or you can start to shift into some goals, some major goals you want to accomplish this year. Try to be specific. So we'll stay here for about 90 seconds or so. Who do we want to be in major goals? Now, how much money do you want to make this year? Because many of us may have a story we've told ourselves, or we've been told that money is a bad thing, money is the root of all evil, all these stories that we've been told and maybe have accepted. But the reality is that money is an energy, it's a neutral factor. And in order to live this ideal life, we need some sort of financial input. So, how much money would you like to make this year to live that ideal life? So, write down a number. And now that you've got that number, add a range to it. So, let's say you said you want to make $6,000 a month. Add a range. Make that $6,000 to $10,000 a month. Add at least 50%. Leave it open to the possibility that it could be more. And if you have a business or you have clients, you write down how many clients or customers you want to help this year. Now, the most important question from all these things, who do we want to be, the major goals, the finances, is why. Why do we want this? Why do we want to be this person? Why do we want to live this lifestyle? How does that make our lives and the world a better place? Why? All right, so let's wrap up those thoughts. Final 30 seconds. So again, I really want to invite you at a later time to spend a good few moments reflecting on some of these a little bit deeper, maybe reflecting on 2021, maybe envisioning 2022, maybe a little bit of both. So at your own leisure, between now and the end of the year, which is not too much more time, you got a couple more days. I really want you to invite you to carve out some time for that. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. This little excerpt from the whole health community, which this has been a incredible blessing in my life and the people in this community since October. So it's still a fairly new community we got going on here, but we're growing quickly. We're learning a lot as we go, and so the intention here is to hold space for a group of like-minded people to come together where I can share a lot of what I've learned over the past many years in the world of holistic health and personal development, and also leave space for people to connect. And we have a group Discord where there's a lot of different resources in there, videos, podcasts, call recordings, you name it, books. And also it's a place to chat. Like I said, connect with the like-minded people. We got people from all over the world. From Europe, we got people tuning in from the Middle East. We got West Coast of the States, East Coast of the States, Central of the States, you name it. So if you'd like to try it out for 2 weeks for free, entirely free, would love to have you. And you can basically go to my website, wholehealthconnects.com, and go to the coaching tab. You'll see the whole community. Or you can just shoot me a message on Instagram or via email at Whole Health Connections. And you can just say, hey, I want to try the whole health community for 2 weeks. Then after that, if you want to keep on keeping on, it's just $129 a month for unlimited access to everything we got going on. So we'll be diving into all things personal development, all things holistic health. Some topics we've covered in the past are holistic homes. We've talked about EMFs. We talked about hydration, water quality, and many more topics. So we will continue to circle back to many of these things as they are ever present and ever evolving. There's always more information that I'm learning and the community is learning on these topics. So we'd love to have you join us. Start off 2022 on the best note ever and keep that momentum going. So let's make this the best year ever. I don't say that lightly, because why not? We learned a lot from this past year. So if it's not better than last year, what are we doing? Let's grow together. Let's keep it growing, keep it growing, keep it flowing, keep it a-hoeing. Have the best year ever. Have the best day ever. See you on the inside.